Hi, I'm Chris, N9CVR. In this video, we're going to take a look at a really cool piece of equipment. And it ain't this. So we're actually going to hop over here for a second. Remember, I bought this thing for $10, and actually here's why. It's not really wanting to start up. So I'm going to have to figure out what's up with it. I don't know. We'll see. But let's look at this module here really quick. It doesn't have to be on to look at this. This is a function generator. And what you can see is basically I can punch in some frequency, whatever. I can change frequency, amplitude. I can put an offset on here. I can change phase, things like that. I can make a square wave, a triangle wave, a sine wave. That's kind of it. Now this is an oscilloscope that I borrowed from work. There's no way on earth I could afford one of these. This is just on loan from work. One of the cool things about working at an educational institution is when you're educating, you can educate. So basically, yes, it is an oscilloscope, but it also has this, see, wave gen right there. It's technically a waveform generator, which we'll get to what's the difference in a little bit. But here's the output. And then I just got a BNC cable going to channel 1 input so we can look at it. And if I turn it on, hey, look at that. There's a sine wave. Let's see. I can make some changes. I can make it into a square wave, a ramp, just short pulses. I can do straight DC, or I can generate random noise. That's usually it for a function generator. Now, like I said, this is a waveform generator, so actually if I hop into settings, I can start doing some cool stuff. If I hop into modulation, I can put some AM out at whatever frequency. And then here I can change what tone I am sending out over that AM. So let me figure out, how do I get back? I think I press waveform. Yep, there I go. Okay, so for example, here I could set, I was actually doing this to build a little radio receiver kit. I can go to frequency. Yeah, that's fine, frequency, and we can crank this up to something, whatever we want. I actually don't know how high this goes. We'll see. This will be an interesting experiment. It had me doing 455 kilohertz. Yeah, looks like I can get there. Oops, 464. 6. There we go, 455 kilohertz. I can change the amplitude, so probably what I'm doing here, I would do better to start with a really small amplitude. I'm going to start here, 20 millivolts peak. So let me zoom out a little here. I'm going to auto scale so we can actually see it. There it is. Back into the waveform generator, and now I'm going to hop into settings. And here's the cool part. I can hop into modulation. I can add a signal in over it. So I can sine, square, or ramp, whichever I choose. at whatever frequency, and it will modulate this 455 kilohertz signal based on what I have set. This is a waveform generator. And off camera, I just adjusted that frequency up to the absolute maximum, and that's 20 megahertz. So this, technically, this oscilloscope has an arbitrary waveform generator in it up to 20 megahertz, and the smallest amplitude apparently it can do is 20 millivolts. So now the really cool piece of equipment. This thing is a true arbitrary waveform generator. It goes up to 40 megahertz. And basically what I've done is I've taken the output and sent it into the same oscilloscope. And we're going to take a look at what this thing does. Here's the really cool thing about this. $5,000-ish, something like that. 500. Now, watch what it can do. First of all, apparently this stuff is all, yeah, this is touch screen. It's a resistive touch screen. I didn't realize that until after I read the manual. But you can actually do this all on just buttons. So here you can change your, okay, apparently it is trying to do microhertz. Let's not do that. Let's hop over here. It's got a little bit obnoxious of a user interface. So that's 1 millihertz. Gotta go 10. We're gonna get there. 100. Okay. Right now we have a 1 hertz, well, ability to do a 1 hertz signal. Let's just send this here. Let's do it this way. I'm going to give it a 60 hertz signal. Oops, there we go. 60 hertz. I gotta remember how to use this. Oh yes, amplitude. Let's give it a 1 volt peak. And turn the output on. Let's hop over here, auto scale. There's a waveform, and let's do the quick measure. 1 volt, sure. And why is it not telling me the frequency? I really don't care about the maximum. I care about the frequency. There it is. Add measurement. 60 hertz. So it doesn't lie. But here's where it gets cool. First of all, 2 channels. So I could do 2 channels. Let me actually keep you in frame there. Then there's this mod button here. Okay, so now I am modulating with AM frequency, adding 100 hertz to it. So basically, if I had a 60 hertz radio that was tuned to 60 hertz, I would hear 100 hertz buzz on it. Let's go back to here and look at that. Yup, it's modulating. Let's see if we can grab this. It doesn't really want to grab it, but let's maybe try a single shot. But basically what we're doing there is we are adding a 60 hertz carrier frequency plus 100 hertz tone, and we're getting this. So essentially what this thing is a little radio. All bands, I don't know, you want to call it all modes? Kind of. Here, you can do AM, FM, pulse modulation, frequency shift keying, ASK? I'm not familiar with that. Here's some more. PSK over there. I guess if you're doing a what do you call it? Square wave, you can pulse width modulate. DSB AM, I have no idea what that is. Up to 40 megahertz for $500. I think this is like super, super awesome. Like I said, the place where I was using this is I didn't realize that this guy had a waveform generator in it, but I was building a little super heterodyne receiver kit, and it required testing of intermediate frequency, which intermediate frequency happened on that radio to be 455 kilohertz. So basically what I did is I hop in here. Let's actually take it to, there's 100 hertz, 1 kilohertz. There's probably an easier way of doing this, but I don't know it. Okay, there we go. That is a 455 kilohertz excuse me, carrier. Let's hop and look at the, we should probably not be modulating at 100%. Let's tune that down to 80%. And then instead of 100 hertz, let's, oops. There we go. 1 kilohertz. So right now, if I tuned into the frequency 455 kilohertz on a radio that's capable of receiving that, I would hear a 1000 hertz sine wave tone. What that allows you to do is tap into, and by the way, that's what it looks like on the screen. Kind of cool. But that allows you to tap into the intermediate frequency of a receiver and test, like, is the receiver working? Is it an antenna issue? Is it a first stage issue? Is it a second stage issue? Is it an amplifier issue, etc.? So anyway, I just thought I'd bring you in on this. Buddy loaned me this, and like I said, I borrowed this from work. But super, super cool stuff here. It gets into radio stuff that, honestly, I am only starting to learn. And yeah, I'm kind of nerding out on it. Well, if you like this kind of stuff, if you want to see me mess around more with these kind of chunks of equipment, feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you do that, hit the notification bell. Questions, comments, remarks, things like that, leave them in the comments below. I will not guarantee that I will know the answer, but at the same time, if you ask something I don't know, I do know a guy who can explain stuff really well. So I will try to get an answer for you. Yeah, and we'll see you on the next video. 73.